We're here with Judge Caprice Cosper, Harris County, who's now the Harris County Drug Czar, appointed by the commissioners. Jail Czar, excuse me. And I want to start with just your background. You know so much about Texas criminal justice.
Well, first let me say I'm not the Jail Czar. The Houston Chronicle got it wrong.
Okay.
Is that a big surprise?
Yes, we're shocked.
That's a pretty simplistic version of why the job was created. But my background is first as a prosecutor for about 7.5 years, and then district court judge trying felony offenses in Harris County for about 16. And during the course of that time, I was involved in the Judicial Advisory Council and drafted some legislation over the years and testified before the legislature. So I was fairly involved in policy. I also determined somewhere along the way that just because you put on a black robe doesn't mean that you know everything, and that there was a real need on a local level for our judges to take the time to meet and communicate about local issues. We have continuing legal education requirements, obviously. Oftentimes those were met by going to state conferences, which didn't address necessarily the county's issues. And so for about 5 years I put on an annual CLE conference for the judges directly related to issues that were appropriate and probative to the things we were dealing with.
I didn't know about that. But I have seen you at the state capitol in meeting after meeting, hour after hour, trying to improve Texas criminal justice policy over the years. And as far as I know, that was a donated time that you gave to help improve policy. What would you say like your proudest accomplishments are, or things that you were part of that you're happiest about at the state level over the last years?
Over the last few years, there's been an increasing need to understand that we have a significant population in our criminal justice system who are there because of addiction and mental health issues, and to raise the awareness of the policymakers that more money needed to be put into those areas. I helped start the drug court program in Harris County about 6 years ago, and that only reinforced the realization that incapacitating people alone, which is what prison and jail does, is not going to solve the problems that we're seeing in society today.
And I think that's been a very successful campaign. I've seen Texas change a lot the last few years. I think they have empty beds.
Well, they have empty beds, I think, because the processes haven't necessarily been developed that maybe efficiently utilize those beds, and they've just recently come online.
Oh, you mean the treatment beds? I meant the prison beds.
Oh, yes.
I've heard of 1,700 empty prison beds.
Yes, that has been putting money into diversion, which is much less expensive, has been a wise investment for Texas.
That's great. I want to thank you for all that you did during that time, because I watched that, and it was hard work.
I was a small part of that puzzle.
So bring us to today now. What is your current job description? What is your role here now?
In June of 2009, pursuant to a Justice Management Institute study, our county commissioners formed a Criminal Justice Coordinating Council composed of 11 elected officials representing different branches of county agencies that dealt with criminal justice issues. And almost as important, they created an office to support the work of that council. And my position is as director of the Office of Criminal Justice Policy.
What is your definition of success in your new job?
It's probably defined in a couple of ways. Personally, I think that success is defined by developing some wise, smart policies in criminal justice that everyone can buy into, and that we can make strides in making government, particularly criminal justice, more effective, more efficient. Clearly, the driving need among many communities who have started these policy councils is jail overpopulation. And so a significant part of my job at this point is to look at criminal justice processes and to see if we can reduce the jail population in an appropriate way that does not compromise public safety. And to be honest, there are a lot of processes that are in place that can be improved upon, that I think will produce good outcomes that don't compromise public safety in any way. But you've got to have everybody talking, and the battleship has to all be turning in the same direction at the same time, and that's the challenge.